Episode 5. Research in Psychopathology, How We Discover What Works. Welcome back to Mind Diagnosis Lab. In today's episode, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of psychopathology research. Understanding how we study psychological disorders is crucial to appreciating the progress we've made and the challenges that still lie ahead. This knowledge empowers us to critically evaluate information and truly grasp the complexities of mental health, and to understand how scientists actually figure out what causes mental disorders and how they know if treatments really work. And why is rigorous research so essential in improving mental health care? So, let's embark on this journey together, exploring the very foundations of how we investigate the human mind and its struggles. Section 1. Science, Theory, and Hypotheses. At the heart of science is the systematic pursuit of knowledge, as the word science itself comes from scire, Latin for to know. But science isn't just about random facts. It's about forming theories that explain observed patterns and then testing them rigorously. Our exploration begins with the fundamental building blocks of any scientific endeavor: theory and hypothesis. Now, you might think these are straightforward terms, but defining them precisely can actually be quite nuanced. A theory, in the realm of psychopathology, is more than just a hunch. It's a comprehensive set of ideas that aims to explain a phenomenon, in our case, the origins, development, and maintenance of psychological disorders. A strong theory helps us organize existing knowledge, generate new predictions, and ultimately guide our understanding and treatment approaches. A key principle in science is that theories must be falsifiable. We don't prove theories, we try to disprove them. However, pinpointing exactly what constitutes a theory can be tricky. Is it a broad framework, a specific model? The lines can sometimes blur. Similarly, a hypothesis is a testable prediction derived from a theory. It's a specific statement about what we expect to observe if our theory holds true. The challenge here lies in formulating hypotheses that are truly testable and that can be clearly linked back to the broader theoretical framework. A well-defined hypothesis is the cornerstone of rigorous research, allowing us to systematically investigate the intricate world of psychopathology. In brief, a theory is a set of propositions designed to explain certain phenomena. For example, why someone develops anxiety or depression. From these theories, scientists generate hypotheses, specific, testable predictions. Section 2. Research Designs in Psychopathology. With a foundational understanding of theory and hypothesis in place, let's now delve into the various research designs employed in psychopathology. Each design offers unique advantages and disadvantages, making some more suitable for certain research questions than others. We'll explore case studies, correlational designs, and experimental designs. Case studies. These involve an in-depth examination of a single individual or a small group of individuals who present with a particular psychological disorder. Case studies can be incredibly valuable for generating rich, detailed information about a rare condition or an unusual presentation of a more common disorder. They can provide valuable insights that might not emerge from studying large groups. For instance, the initial understanding of dissociative identity disorder largely stemmed from detailed case studies. Also, Freud's famous patient Anna O helped shape the early theories of psychoanalysis. However, the major drawback of case studies is their limited generalizability. Because we're focusing on a small number of individuals, it's difficult to confidently say whether the findings would apply to a larger population. Also, we can't prove cause and effect because we can't rule out other explanations. Additionally, case studies are often susceptible to researcher bias, as the investigator's own interpretations can heavily influence the findings. Despite these limitations, case studies serve as a crucial starting point for generating hypotheses and exploring novel phenomena in psychopathology. They're good for generating ideas, but not for confirming universal truths. Correlational designs. These designs examine the extent to which two or more variables are associated with each other. For example, researchers might investigate the correlation between levels of childhood trauma and the likelihood of developing depression in adulthood. Correlational studies are excellent for identifying potential risk factors and understanding the relationships between different aspects of psychopathology in large samples. They allow us to see if variables tend to move together, whether positively, negatively, or not at all. It's vital to remember, however, that correlation does not equal causation. Just because two variables are related doesn't mean that one causes the other. There could be a third, unmeasured variable influencing both, or the direction of causality might be the reverse of what we initially suspect. Common types of correlational designs include cross-sectional studies, which examine variables at a single point in time, and longitudinal studies, which follow individuals over an extended period, allowing us to explore how relationships between variables unfold over time. Longitudinal studies, while more time-consuming, offer a stronger basis for understanding temporal relationships, though they still cannot definitively establish causality. Correlational methods are especially common in fields like epidemiology, studying prevalence and risk factors across populations, and behavioral genetics, examining heritability patterns in families, twins, or adoptees. Behavior genetics uses methods like family studies. Are first-degree relatives sharing 50% of genes more likely to have the same disorder? Twin studies. Are monozygotic, identical twins more alike than dizygotic, fraternal twins? Adoption studies. Do adopted children resemble their biological or adoptive families in terms of risk? Such studies help us estimate heritability, the proportion of variance in a disorder explained by genetic factors, but they also reveal the critical role of environment. Experimental designs. Finally, we arrive at experimental designs, often considered the gold standard for determining cause and effect relationships. In an experiment, researchers manipulate an independent variable to observe its effect on a dependent variable, while carefully controlling for other factors that might influence the outcome. For instance, in a study examining the effectiveness of a new therapy technique for anxiety, the therapy technique would be the independent variable, and the level of anxiety reported by participants would be the dependent variable. A key element of experimental designs is random assignment, where participants are randomly assigned to either the treatment group, receiving the manipulation, or the control group, not receiving the manipulation, or receiving a standard treatment or placebo. Random assignment helps to ensure that the groups are comparable at the outset, minimizing the influence of pre-existing differences. This setup increases internal validity, confidence that the independent variable caused the observed effect. Experimental designs, with their emphasis on manipulation and control, provide the strongest evidence for causal inferences in psychopathology research. Common types of experimental designs in psychopathology research include randomized controlled trials, RCTs, which are frequently used to evaluate the efficacy of new treatments, and single-case experimental designs, which involve manipulating variables within a single individual over time, and carefully measure how a person's behavior changes when a treatment is introduced, removed, and reintroduced, like the ABAB design. For example, a 13-year-old girl with a severe choking phobia was gradually exposed to feared foods, while her anxiety ratings were tracked week by week. Adding a reward system, ice cream, dramatically improved her progress. Single-case designs offer high internal validity, though generalizing findings can be challenging. Section 3. Treatment Outcome Research. Perhaps the most high-stakes question: does treatment work? Given the critical need for effective treatments for psychological disorders, psychotherapy outcome research plays a vital role in our field. This area of research focuses specifically on whether a given treatment works well. However, conducting rigorous psychotherapy outcome research presents its own unique set of standards and issues. Hundreds of treatment outcome studies, usually randomized controlled trials, RCTs, show that about 75% of people improve after psychotherapy. But we must remember, no therapy works for everyone. About 10% of people may worsen in therapy, and some treatments, like scared straight programs or recovered memory techniques, have been shown to cause harm. It's generally agreed that treatment outcome researchers should adhere to several key standards. One crucial element is the use of treatment manuals. These manuals provide detailed, step-by-step guidance on how to conduct each phase of a particular psychotherapy. This ensures that the treatment is delivered consistently across different therapists and research sites, enhancing the reliability and replicability of the findings. Another essential standard is randomly assigning participants to either the treatment group or a control condition. As we discussed earlier, this helps to establish the effectiveness of the treatment beyond any pre-existing differences between groups. Researchers also need to clearly define the sample of individuals participating in the study, specifying the diagnostic criteria and other relevant characteristics. Finally, it's paramount to include reliable and valid measures of outcome, tools that consistently and accurately assess the symptoms or behaviors the therapy aims to address. One ongoing debate in this area concerns the best type of control condition. Using no treatment control groups or placebo condition control groups can raise ethical concerns, as it involves withholding potentially beneficial active treatments from individuals who may be suffering. However, placebo conditions, where participants receive a sham treatment they believe is real, can be informative. Interestingly, many people demonstrate symptom reduction after receiving a placebo, highlighting the powerful influence of expectation and the therapeutic alliance. Section 4. Cultural and ethical considerations. Effective treatments must work across cultures. Minority clients often prefer therapists who understand their background, but research shows that cultural competence, the therapist's awareness and sensitivity, matters even more than ethnic matching. Ethical and practical barriers can sometimes make it challenging to directly study certain aspects of psychopathology in human populations. For instance, it would be unethical to intentionally expose individuals to severe trauma to study its long-term effects. To overcome these hurdles, researchers often employ analog research. This involves studying phenomena that are similar or analogous to the psychological disorder of interest under controlled conditions. Common types of analogs in psychopathology research include studying animal models that exhibit behaviors resembling certain symptoms, such as anxiety or depression in rodents. Researchers might also use healthy individuals who are induced to experience temporary states that mimic some aspects of a disorder, such as using sleep deprivation to study cognitive deficits associated with depression. Another approach involves studying subclinical populations, individuals who exhibit some features of a disorder, but do not meet the full diagnostic criteria. While analog research offers valuable insights into the underlying mechanisms of psychopathology, it's important to acknowledge the concerns about the use of analogs. The extent to which findings from animal models or temporary states in healthy individuals can be generalized to complex chronic psychological disorders in humans is a critical question that requires careful consideration. Researchers must be cautious in drawing direct parallels and should always strive to validate findings from analog studies in human clinical populations. Section 5. Replicability and meta-analysis. In recent years, there has been a significant debate within the scientific community concerning replicability. The ability to reproduce the findings of a study is a cornerstone of scientific integrity. If a research finding cannot be consistently replicated by independent investigators, it raises serious questions about its validity and reliability. This debate has highlighted the importance of rigorous methodology, transparent reporting of research procedures, and efforts to reduce publication bias, where studies with statistically significant positive results are more likely to be published than those with null or negative findings. In response to the challenges of replicability, researchers often employ a powerful tool called meta-analysis. This statistical technique involves systematically combining the results of multiple independent studies that address a similar research question. By pooling data from various studies, meta-analysis can provide a more robust and precise estimate of the overall effect size. The basic steps in conducting a meta-analysis typically involve clearly defining the research question, conducting a comprehensive search for relevant studies, establishing criteria for including and excluding studies, extracting relevant data from the included studies, statistically analyzing the pooled data, and interpreting the results. Meta-analysis is invaluable for synthesizing the growing body of research in psychopathology, identifying consistent findings, and highlighting areas where further investigation is needed. Section 6. Importance of dissemination. Finally, it's crucial to emphasize that scientific discovery is only truly impactful when its findings are effectively disseminated to the wider scientific community and, where appropriate, to clinicians and the public. Research findings are typically disseminated through publications in peer-reviewed journals, presentations at conferences, and increasingly through online platforms. However, dissemination is highly important because, surprisingly, too few clients are actually offered empirically supported treatments, ESTs, therapies that have been shown to be effective through rigorous research. Bridging the gap between research and practice is a significant challenge in the field of psychopathology. Efforts to improve dissemination include training clinicians in ESTs, developing clear and accessible guidelines for practitioners, and engaging in public outreach to raise awareness about evidence-based interventions. Section 7. Conclusion. And there you have it. A comprehensive look into the research methods that underpin our understanding of psychopathology. From the careful formulation of theories and hypotheses to the rigorous application of various research designs and the critical importance of replicability and dissemination, the scientific pursuit of knowledge in mental health is a complex but vital endeavor. It's through these methods that we continue to refine our understanding, develop more effective treatments, and ultimately, better support individuals facing psychological distress. Research in psychopathology is far from perfect, but it's the best tool we have for advancing mental health care. Through carefully designed studies, rigorous testing, and constant attention to ethics and cultural context, we can gradually improve our understanding of what causes mental illness and, crucially, what helps people heal. So next time you hear someone say, "Therapy doesn't work," or "Psychology isn't a real science," you'll know how much evidence, decades of meticulous research, stands behind modern mental health care. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. If you found this information insightful, please like this video and subscribe for more in-depth discussions on mental health. What are your thoughts on the challenges and advancements in psychopathology research? Share your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care.